What's going on, guys? This is Carlos from the Just Fans podcast. Thank you for joining us this evening. I got my co-host, the man who needs all the subtitles in the world, Poppy. Let him know what's up, Poppy.
Venga, tú siempre te la pasas hablando paja, huevón. No jodas, no me la calo contigo.
Get your
Wait,
Alexas ready, ladies and gentlemen.
a little slower, sir. I couldn't decipher
One
all
of
that.
these days, I'm gonna need you to actually put subtitles when I say shit like that.
I know. That's gonna be fun. And we got Rios in the house. Let him know, Rios. How's it going, Rios?
Is it Thursday yet?
Oh, right, dude. Exactly. Thursday. I'm waiting for Thursday. My blood
It
pressure.
cannot.
Yeah.
Can
it's-
I
With
get
all,
your
with
best
all the with all the shit that I've been seeing, dude, I don't even know if I want it to be Thursday at this point.
Exactly. And of course, joining us today, we got a special guest. You know him as the bad guy from Twitter. You got at Young Ari Gold. James, what's up, James? How's it going, bud?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
No
thanks
problem.
for
Thanks for
joining
joining us.
man.
Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. So, like we said, like literally right now, we're all anxiety. We don't know what's going to happen. You hear rumors from the left, rumors from the right. You hear the Texans are going to trade down. The Texans are going to get Bryce Young. No, the Panthers. You hear all these different scenarios. It feels like I'm watching a Marvel movie here. So many different parallel universes going on with the Texans. How
Next
do
thing
you
you know,
feel?
they're going to build a time machine and get Tom Brady from '99.
It's the
Exactly.
multiverse of madness of
Yeah.
Texans draft rumors.
And
Exactly.
the thing is that like every year kind of feels like that. When we're getting closer to the draft, like so many rumors, people trading up, people trading down, people just picking the different prospects or whatever. But I feel like there's so much, and I feel this as a Texas fan. There's so much at stake right now that like it's actually driving my blood pressure up the
Yeah.
roof, dude. Like it's just.
It feels like we control this draft list, but like everyone's worried about what we're going to do, like because no one has any idea whatsoever.
Yeah, it's at the point where I don't hear much talk about like Carolina. Like Carolina's like, okay, if you get
No.
Bryce Young, what do the Texans do?
I was
What's going to
making
happen?
I was making fun of Carolina a couple of weeks ago just because I was like, how do they not know who they're gonna pick? Like the organization is in shambles, dude. And now we're the ones that like the Vegas odds are like all over the place at the moment. Like, what are we gonna do, man?
It changes
Yeah.
by the hour.
It's interesting too because like the whole premise of Carolina trading, like the narrative around it was that they wanted to control the draft, right? And then at the end of the day, like, well, sure, they technically control it by being able to select the first pick, but really after that, like the draft starts when the Texans are on the clock because everybody knows Carolina's taking a quarterback. But now nobody knows if the Texans are going to trade back. Are they going to draft Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson? Are they going to draft a quarterback? Like, are they going to trade with the Colts, which is out there? Like, nobody knows what they're going to do. And I think ultimately now, which is crazy to think about, we control the draft
Right.
at a time where nobody expected us to be the ones that control the draft
Yeah.
because quarterback was penciled in November of 2022.
But even though we, like you said, we quote unquote control the draft, doesn't even feel like we're in the driving seat at all.
Yeah.
It feels like we're driving a car from like the not even like the bus station. They're like, I don't even know what the hell is going on.
You really feel like that though? Like you really feel like they don't have control?
Because
Or are you just saying
I
like the
thought like
narratives
kind of
in
like
media?
you said, it was penciled in that quarterback was a move.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I've been saying this for weeks. I've been saying this since the season ended. If we do not get a quarterback on draft night, what the hell was the point of basically tanking last year? What the hell was the point of like all this speculations and all this, like getting the Miko and all this stuff? Like, just doesn't make any sense to me as a fan.
Yeah,
What would you say it's the right move? And I know that's a hard question because organizations
Nobody
don't get it
knows.
right, don't get it
Nobody
right
knows.
most of the time. But it's like the Texans' biggest need was coaching. Now that that's taken care of, how is it not quarterback number one?
I think it's fair to say quarterback is the biggest need, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's also fair to say that Nick Caserio might not love another quarterback outside of Bryce Young, right? So like it's like a double-edged sword because while it's the biggest need, do you really want them taking a quarterback that they're not in love with? Because ultimately, where does that lead you? And then are you taking another quarterback in 3 to 4 years? So like everybody's positioning them like you're at 2. This is the only opportunity you're going to have to take a quarterback. And I understand the sentiment because you technically are in the best position to grab a quarterback. But as we've seen over the last 5 years, I mean, Deshaun was taken at 13? Mahomes is taken at 11. Like Kenny Pickett was taken at 20 last year. Not saying he's a franchise guy or he's this guy, but he looks like he may be a guy, right? Maybe not a top 5 guy, but he looks like he may be a guy. Lamar Jackson was at the end of the first round. Like, we're seeing it more and more now that you can get a quarterback at 6, 7, 8, like 12, 14, 15. And so it's like, if they're not happy with the quarterback prospects available to them after Carolina selects, I'm okay with them not taking a quarterback. I'd actually prefer it, because I think what ends up happening is you put D'Amico in a bad position when you tie him to a quarterback he's not in love with as a head coach. And ultimately, it seems like the biggest thing that this city wants is for D'Amico to succeed, which then will give us the result that we all want, which that means that the franchise is going to succeed. So the moment you take a quarterback, that clock starts. He's got a 6-year contract. I don't want them to force a pick. Now, if they love CJ Stroud, they love AR, they love Will Levis, take a quarterback. But if you don't love a quarterback, I honestly believe your best bet is to trade back for a team that does want a quarterback, get as much draft capital as you can, and position yourself better for 2024, 2025.
And do you think,
which sucks?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sucks as
I totally get it.
I would say.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Do you think that the draft is where we should be looking for a quarterback, or do you think free agency is something that we may have to look at? Because if we are going to be using draft picks to rebuild the team outside of the quarterback, right? Like basically preparing the team for the next guy.
Yeah.
Are we gonna try to pick somebody, like a 21-year-old, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, or because there needs to be a plan in place, and right now I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I think that's where most people are bothered, is the fact that they don't know what the plan actually is. And so therefore it leaves everybody guessing, which leads to all the media narratives and rumors that are started, is because nobody has any true clear understanding of what's going on. They won't say Davis Mills' name. They won't show a picture of him. They won't include him at so it's pretty safe to say, like, either they're hiding this from the fans so that nobody's upset that Davis Mills is the starter until week 1, or Davis Mills is just completely out of the picture and not even like a quarterback that they're going to consider, starting in week 1. So, I mean, kicking the can down the road, it's not something you want to do with anything in life, right? Like, if you can tackle something head on, you do it. And, I think, like I said, if they love a quarterback, take him. I love Anthony Richardson. He's the guy that nobody wants. Nobody wants Anthony Richardson. Everybody wants CJ Stroud. I have a hard time believing a quarterback that didn't face any adversity in college and had everything perfect around him is going to come to a team that has nothing perfect around him and is going to be successful. That when it comes to draft prospects, specifically the quarterback position, I want a guy who came up from the dirt and had to not be in a perfect situation, deal with bad coaching, deal with bad players, deal with a bad offensive line. He had the best wide receivers, I think, maybe in the history of college football. And so, like, where do you go? I don't know. I can't. You have to draft a guy eventually, right? Mm-hmm. But when do you draft him? I can't answer that question, and that's the shitty part, because I think, am I alled to cuss?
Yeah.
No,
go
for
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Poppy. But like, so what do you do? Well, Caleb Williams and Drake May are next year. Penix is coming out next year. Next year does look like it's going to be a good quarterback draft class, but then, do the Texans surprise everybody and win, 10 games? Like, it's tough. It's like, what do you do? You're either way, you're fucked if you honestly think about it. If you take a quarterback and he sucks ass, guess what? You're in the same position you were in when you drafted him. But then you
can take another one next year, right?
I was going to say,
you can pick another one next year, right?
Yeah. The Cardinals did that, right? Rios, like you mentioned, the Cardinals did that with
they got Rosen at 10, and then Kyler next year, and the Jets. I mean, they got Wilson last year, and they got Aaron Rodgers now. Like,
yeah. So with that logic, would you think, why not take CJ? And if he works out, he works out. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And then
do we know for a fact that Carolina is even going to go for Bryce or even?
It's unknown. We don't. It's unknown. So that's what I'm saying. With that logic, would you think that would be feasible? Yeah. All right.
I think it is reasonable, but I don't think it would be CJ for me. Okay. Look, at the end of the day, like, we play in the AFC. Mm-hmm. I don't think CJ has the talent to be a top 5 quarterback in the AFC, right? And now there's an additional top 5 quarterback added to the AFC today, right? So you got Mahomes, Herbert, Jackson, Allen, Lawrence, Rodgers, Burrow. Like, I want a guy that has the potential to potentially reach the level of those quarterbacks. And I think Anthony Richardson is the only one that could really actually get there. Now, can he get there? I don't know. It's going to come down to coaching, development plan, right? But if they're going to swing, I'd rather him fully swing and miss than swing and maybe hit a single. And then every year that window gets pushed out. Okay, well, he looked okay. Let's give him another year. He looked a little better. Let's give him. And then he reaches his max in year 4, and you're in the 5th-year option, and you're trying to figure out what you can do, and you just won the division winning 10 games. So it's like,
okay,
no matter what you do. So it's like either swing fully or don't swing at all.
So go big or go home.
Yeah.
Basically. It's either or. It's either really get a guy or just tank it. That's probably what we're saying.
Yeah, well, but see, and that's another thing though. Like, do you tank? Like maybe the offense gets better. Maybe like what I'm saying is I don't think they'll tank. I don't think D'Amico came here to lose. So I think tanking's out the window. But like if you win 6 games, but your defense improves from 22 to 12, and your wide receivers are developing, Mechie looks good, and Nico Collins took a step, and like your draft picks look good. Like, did you hurt anything? Your system's in place now. Your defense is looking good. Like, you're in a place now to where you can insert said quarterback and maybe actually take that next step.
Right. So then goes back to my question is like, do we need to like hit a home run or buzz, or can we do maybe like what the 49ers are doing? The 49ers had 3 different quarterbacks last year, and all of them looked pretty good because the team built around them was built like for basically any kind of quarterback to succeed.
It's a QB friendly system, right? With college.
Exactly. So if we can have the same here in Texas, maybe a single will help us walk off the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to hit a homer. We don't need to like knock it out of the park or just completely not taking that bad at all, because it's just the fan base, the city needs a quarterback to stand behind, and I feel like we have.
You sound like Batman. The city needs a hero.
Not the one we deserve, but the one we need.
Not the one we deserve, but the one we need.
I feel like we have enough trust so far on D'Amico that we're willing to stand behind any decision that that they want to make.
Yeah.
But without another year without a quarterback, like, unless the offense gets better, unless the defense gets better, unless every other aspect of the game gets better, it just doesn't fill me with any confidence. The fact that we're still like if Mills is our number 1 option on week 1, I don't know how I'm gonna watch football this season. Dude.
What if he's better?
That's what I was hoping last year would be.
Yeah, but how are you better when Chris Moore's your wide receiver 1 and your interior offensive line is pure garbage and you have nobody to throw to, and the scheme changes? So now you're in your second offensive scheme as a second-year, 3rd-round rookie. Like, I think I say this and people hate me for it, and I'll say it here too. I don't really care. I think it's very hard for us to know what Davis Mills actually is. And I think if anybody is actually looking at the totality of the picture of this organization since Davis Mills has been drafted, learns a new scheme under David Coley and Tim Kelly, looked at the end of the year, I think everybody was in wait and see mode at the end of 2021. Everyone was like, maybe Davis, maybe not Davis. At least it seemed that way. Am I right or no?
Yeah.
I mean, there was glimpses here and there.
Right.
The consistency was concerned. The consistency was a little concerning. Like, it was, he would have a great throw, and then the next one would be a pick six.
Right. He was actually putting good numbers at the end.
The last 5 games of 2021.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I was, hopeful.
You were hoping, right?
I was like, maybe we give him a full season. I'm not saying he's going to be lights out, but
then when
if he can improve on what he did on those last 5 games, if we could just get some improvement.
But then you change the offense. You change the offensive coordinator.
It's Brandon Cooks
different.
Yeah,
but even when
Brandon Cooks isn't there.
But I would argue that he didn't even have highlights. Like even when we look okay, it was all Pierce. It was the defense coming in clutch at times. I just didn't see enough of Mills.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess I go back to the Patriots game of 2021, his second game. I think he had 308 passing yards. He had a 76% completion percentage, 3 TDs, all the way until the 4th quarter when something happened. I don't know what, coaching, whatever it may be. Like, you don't do that to a Belichick defense. Like Belichick has a history, a resume of destroying rookie quarterbacks. That's his entire resume. Zach will, or who Sam Darnold saw ghosts. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's, so I look at those and I look at those moments and I say like, okay, those like you can do it. You've done it. So you can. So what the fuck is going on? Like, and his footwork last year was he was happy in the pocket. He didn't look comfortable at all. No. Like there was just, and that offense was very rhythmic and like you kind of had to, it was very, I forgot the word, but so then I look at,
sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, yeah, I said it felt
I'm
like
on a poppy tangent right now.
Yeah. So when you said it felt very rhythmic, it felt like that scheme was designed more for a mobile quarterback.
That's the way it felt to me. I don't know about mobile. I don't know if I'd say mobile because like on bootlegs and like quarterback rollouts, he was fine. Like he made
I would say those. Maybe
I think it was better when he threw it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I mean, to an extent. I mean, there were some times when he threw it when you were just kind of like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Yeah.
You know,
like Nico 6'4". Nico, what are you doing?
But then I think of Nico, right? And I think of the first like 4 weeks of the season. I think everybody was thinking Nico's taking a step forward in his development. I actually, for the first 4 weeks, said to myself, "Okay, we may have a player in Nico."
Right.
Which was what we were. Then he got hurt, and then we never got to see it again. So it's like I don't know, man. I have this like weird thing in my head where I don't know if we know what Mills is. I think we know Mills is not a top 10 quarterback in the AFC. I think we all know that. Yeah. Is he Kirk Cousins? I don't know. Maybe. Right. But like, and then we talk about the quarterback friendly system in San Francisco, but like this team's not going to have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Greg Kittle. Like
McCaffrey,
Christian McCaffrey, like we're going to have to grab all those guys for this QB friendly system to work. So like, it's a lot easier to say that system works when you got guys in space that are fast and athletic and can do whatever they want when they got the ball in their hands. We don't have that. So can you plug and play a quarterback in this system right now? I don't think you can.
Not right now.
With this team, no, away. Yeah. You need playmakers on the outside. The playmakers are running back, at tight end, and once you get it together, like maybe we can see what they can do.
Well, how much longer do you wanna give Mills?
No, see, this is where it gets tricky because now I'm a Mills site and I'm like,
no, I understand.
You're a stand? Are you a stand?
I don't necessarily want to give him time. Yeah. What I want to do is, if we're going to draft a quarterback, it's fine, but it needs to be a competition. I don't care if it's a first-round quarterback at 2.
You know what?
I don't care if
it's
agree. A first-round quarterback at 12. If Mills beats out your first-round quarterback, you have an issue, and he needs to start.
Yeah.
I guess is ultimately what I'm saying. So, like, if you draft a Hendon Hooker,
and he beats him, you know what? I can agree with that. Take like, I'm not the biggest Mills guy, but if he beats the rookie in training camp, give him a chance. And he fucks it up. He fucks it up.
Well, and the best thing for the rookie is to sit really anyways. Like we've seen it year in, year out. Like the quarterbacks that end up having successful there in year 2 are the guys that sit behind another quarterback. So like if Mills does do well enough to play and do well, then that rookie's benefiting anyways because he's learning and developing from the coaching staff and from the QB room.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's just my thought.
Deshaun got the start. Yeah, Deshaun got the start. Like
no, he didn't. Tom Savage got the start, and then Deshaun came in second.
The second half.
Yeah, but second half game 1. That's what I mean. Like
Saxonville was destroying everything that year.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just,
I don't think there's a right answer, to be honest with you, and I think that's why. I think that's why we all get into our arguments and our thoughts is because nobody knows the right answer.
Yeah, I think they gave us a little bone, and then nobody knows. Like, come on, I don't think even the media. I don't think they know because, like, come on, they were saying Nick Caserio was going to be
on the hot seat,
leaving on the hot seat. Like immediately, I'm like, where are these sources? Where are these sources coming from? How does it make sense that Nick Caserio?
It was trust me, bro. That's the source.
Yeah, the source. Trust me, bro. Like, how does it make sense Nick Caserio's leaving? You just hired a head coach. And right before the draft, like,
well, and you didn't let him choose his first 2 head coaches. So it's like, what do you like? Are you really gonna fire a guy who came in and didn't get to do what the fuck you told him he was gonna be able to do?
Right. Like, I'll give him credit for like the way he managed the salary cap and the whole Deshaun thing. Like, he did a pretty damn good job.
The Deshaun situation, I don't think people realize like how hard that situation was.
Yes.
Like, if you remember in 2021? Yeah, 2021. When right before the trade deadline, the media was like, "You got to trade him now. Miami's willing to offer 2 firsts."
Yeah, he didn't budge.
Nick said, "Fuck that. I'm not doing that because once he's clear, I'm getting 3." And what do? He got three
got
and
three.
some change.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, that takes balls, bro. Like that's a significant risk that he was willing to take there. He could have easily gotten indicted or whatever would have happened, and we could have lost everything.
Yeah, I feel like most other organizations in the league would have
Dealt him.
dealt him like immediately, like on the cheap.
Yeah.
Like get rid of him now, kind of a
Exactly.
thing. And no,
Take our
they chose to no, you're coming to training camp, you're gonna play safety for a while. Remember they were putting him in safety
Yeah.
spot for a good minute.
Yeah.
Remember when he
I was
walked by
like-
that guy? Like, why are you guys always filming me? Why you guys always?
Why always
do
filming?
you
What's
think
going
we're
on?
filming you, bro?
Like, sir, really?
You're on the news, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Every damn
You
day,
right
like
I tried DMing you, Deshaun, but you're not answering anymore.
Yeah, you're blocking everybody on Twitter for God's sakes. Yeah, it was like, yeah, man. I was like, dude, yeah, they were putting him in. So like, yeah, he didn't budge. I agree with that. Nick Casario didn't budge at all. Like when, like you said, with other organizations, were like, nah, let's get rid of him now. Nick,
he's like, I'm not getting
know,
pennies in the dollar. I'm getting, I bought a Ferrari. I'm getting Ferrari prices.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly. He knew what the
exactly.
used car market looked like at that time during COVID. He wasn't going to risk it.
exactly. And so that was good. I think that was a ballsy move, like you said, from Nick Casario. I think that was awesome. So it speaks highly of him. And then honestly, when we were talking about last year's draft, I mean, you got Petrie at the pick that you got him. That was a steal.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
thought
in
it was
the
a
second round, that was
solid
a steal.
draft overall.
Yeah, we thought it was such. I mean, now we dabble here and there about the Stingley. You could have gone Sauce.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Stingley's not a
You know
bad.
what's funny?
It wasn't a bad.
I had James Palmer on today, and we were talking, and he told me that NFL GMs were telling him that none of the quarterbacks in this draft are as good as Derek Stingley, and that the Sauce Stingley thing could have went either way for any team. That everybody had them graded almost equally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's like,
the
how do you
fact
fault
that
him?
the fact that
I don't know.
Stingley got hurt, hopefully with a new defensive
I'm gonna go
scheme,
with
he can.
him. He could have came back, but like the season was lost. Why risk
Exactly,
it? He was
exactly.
the wrong scheme. Like he's a cover corner
Tampa
playing cover two. Like
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
What was the comparison you used, Rios, about what was the comparison you used about how do you call it? Prime?
yeah, it's like
He's
asking Deion Sanders plays zone covers. Like no, Deion's a zone. He's a cover corner.
It's true.
Man to man. That's his strength. Like why would he be in zone? Like
Yeah, but no. But last year, I feel like we walked out of draft night feeling pretty
I
good.
was very pleased with the draft.
Peachy was a good pick. I think Green can only get better. Stingley, like you said, could have gone either way, but I feel like we still walked out with a really good, solid player there.
Well, I mean, the best part of the defense was the secondary last year, right?
Yeah.
Steven
Yeah.
Nelson,
Yeah.
Desmond King, Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie in the back. Right now, we added
It was
Jimmy Ward.
It was a no-fly zone. It was literally
really
a no-fly zone.
So you add a
Yeah.
pass rush to that, and like, what does that look like? Like those guys played without a pass rush last year, and they played great. Like, imagine what it would look like if you actually have a pass rush.
Exactly. Our best pass rusher was 34 years old. Jerry Hughes. Like he should not be your best pass rusher.
And he's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. 35 years old. He's coming back.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if we do not go the quarterback route this upcoming draft,
Yeah.
what's the play for the Texans? Do we trade down? Do we pick somebody else? And if we do, who? Well, what are we looking at?
If it's me, I would trade back. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that everybody, according to most people, this draft class in general just isn't good. Like, not just quarterbacks, but there was a report today that a general manager said he only has 15 players with a first round grade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like this draft class doesn't seem to be like the one that's going to move the needle. So if that's the case, but these teams are thirsty for a quarterback, I would, I think it was Minnesota is called the Texans. That was reported today about moving up to 2.
I saw that too.
I did not see
So if
that.
you think about it, if you could get them to give you 3 1s and a 2 and move up,
pull the trigger.
You pull the trigger, right? And now they move up, and you're going to grab Zay Flowers or something like that at 23. But at the same time, now you have 3 first-round picks next year, 2 first-round picks in 2025, 2 first-round picks in 2026. Next year, if you wanted to, you wanted to give up all 6 picks for Caleb Williams.
You could,
which would be insane, right? But I'm not saying that would happen. But if you wanted to, you could do it because you'd have that money in the bank. So
that'd be hard to say no to.
How do you say no to that?
Why don't we just give those 2 first rounders and get Lamar?
I don't think Lamar's going anywhere else but Baltimore.
You don't think so?
Now that he got Beckham on there, I don't think he's.
Yeah,
not that Beckham's going to be a savior or anything, but
I was kind of hoping that he would move to a different team just because I just want to see him thrive somewhere else.
If you're willing to give up 2 for Lamar, why not give up number 2 overall for AR? Because Lamar coming out of college was the same.
The accuracy
had the same.
So
they wanted him to play wide receiver, if you remember.
That's right.
I do. Wide receiver, running back.
That's what I'm saying.
Running back too.
So James, speaking of AR-15, does the accuracy thing bother you at all with him or no?
No. You guys, whenever you have time, and you should ask him to come on your show before the draft. This would be great.
I DM'd him.
Matt,
oh,
Matt,
they talk about AR. Oh, sorry, no, sorry. I was like, I DM'd AR-15. I knew what was happening.
Oh, I think we all did. We all
right?
did.
Hey, bro, what you doing?
Yeah, that's right. I even talked to his quarterback coach. He was like, "Yeah, hit me up after the combine." I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, buddy." And then guess what? Doesn't respond. So,
right.
But I had Matt Waldman on, who many people don't know who he is. He started a fantasy scouting website in 2006, and he became the largest individual provider for scouting reports in the world. And NFL GMs buy his scouting reports and all of this stuff. And so I talked to him last week. The way he charted Anthony Richardson's throws was incredible. So he has an adjusted completion rating of 66% if the wide receivers just catch the ball. He had 129. He ranked 129th in drop passes in NCAA football out of 135 teams. So you know who the only quarterback to ever be drafted in the first round with a drop rate that high was Dan Marino, and his was even I think it was like 121st out of 135. So like you can it doesn't worry me because if you look at the ball placement, if you watch him, like the ball's there, it's fine. And actually he's better than Stroud deep. So it doesn't concern me. I think we've seen Jalen Hurts had the same issue. Lamar had the same issue. Josh Allen had the same issue. He's only 20 also. Keep that in mind. Like this is like a kid coming out of high school.
He's got room to grow.
And he's built like Thor. Like so
Right.
like what do you like how do you say no to a demigod?
I think with him, if he puts it all together, man, he's going to be just
dangerous.
He's going to be a much swoller Mike Vick, basically.
He's 242. I mean, he's like LeBron James playing quarterback.
Because he's the same size. He's almost the same size as Cam Newton, but Cam Newton, I mean, even when he's MVP, he still had those accuracy issues. But if
Cam had accuracy issues in college.
Yeah, but if AR could put it together, man, it's scary.
If AR starts wearing the scarves and the hat, like Indiana Jones, you know that's going downhill. That's when it goes downhill.
Get him out of here.
When he uses that, that's when you know it's going downhill from there.
Agreed. I just think it'd be fun too. Like if you think about it, like everybody, from what I understand, everybody just wants to have entertaining game too. Like how could you not have fun watching that dude play? Like if the throw ain't there, guess what he's doing?
Taking off.
He's gonna tuck it and run. So
hey, good luck bringing him down.
That's right.
6'4", 250,
And that's what I want to see, man. I just want to see us play some good football out there, man.
See, I just want to win. I don't really give a shit what it looks like. Like if our defense holds all opposing teams to 0 points and we win a Super Bowl, I don't really care.
Who would argue that?
As long as a lot of people don't actually want that.
If we win a Super Bowl, 100%.
You'd be surprised, bro.
I care about winning.
That's
I don't
all
care how we
about.
win.
That's right.
We could win ugly as hell. We could win Baltimore Ravens 2000 style.
That's
right.
right.
We get that ring. I don't give a fuck.
Same, bro. Same.
Yeah, but what are the expectations for this team going to next season? I feel like they're just as low as they were last year.
Well, I don't know.
No.
Like, should they be?
I think they're a little higher. I think
is it because of the Miko? Because
normally I'm the pessimist, but I think this defense could be top 10.
Oh,
yeah. Top 10? You think so? With Jimmy
Ward
Ward and
you guys need to lock it in soundbite, like when Rio says something dope like that, where then you just like it plays like a lock sound, like lock.
It's gonna be in the intro. It's gonna be in the intro. Watch for like the worst ranked defense.
Yeah,
and we play in the intro. I think this defense is top 10.
Top 10.
All right. By the way, before we continue, this is it's about halftime. So Rios, you know what time it is, right?
Yep.
All right, y'all. It's Rios's beer of the week. All right, Rios.
Where'd he go?
He doesn't respect your beer of the week.
So unprofessional.
Okay, so this week I wanted to get one I haven't had before. So I love Guinness. So this week I went for it's imported. It's for an extra stout. So basically, with stout beers, you taste hints of coffee and chocolate. This one you can really, really taste it. Like it's very strong. 7.5.
Show-
It's
Show the label again because you have a tendency of putting it by your name tag.
Yeah.
Move it
Okay,
to the left.
okay.
Go.
Right. All the way right. More. Deep
My
left.
right, you're right.
The other direction. Whatever you're doing, the other way.
There you go.
Good job. Good job.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you, sir.
No,
Okay.
this is pretty. It's pretty
Okay.
strong, but it's good. No, I'm not chugging it.
Coward.
No, but like you can really taste the coffee and the chocolate. But it's strong, man. Like there's the reason it only comes in packs of 4. Like it's pretty strong.
What would you rate it?
Ooh, 10 out of 10. This is good.
Oh shit.
10 out of 10? You're giving it?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. I haven't had it.
Yeah,
so
10 out of 10. Like if you like stout beers, this is the one, man.
All right. What would you now you said Guinness, what is there another beer that you've had that's very similar to it or no?
To this, no.
So this is
It's-
unique taste for
It's
you?
very, very unique. I've had a lot of stout beers, but this is pretty unique.
Chug it.
Okay. Yeah, chug it. Don't be a
No.
coward.
Chug it. Fucking coward. Do it.
You
What
see,
happened?
you got the giant. You see, you got the 3
Put
liter
that
mug.
shit in
I'm
the
not
mug
scared.
and chug it.
Yeah, don't
If
be
you
a
like
coward.
it that much.
Yeah.
It'll be like this big in the mug. Like, come on, man.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to our. All right, so that was Rios' beer of the week.
Have you
Good job,
guys ever
Rios.
had Austin Beer Works?
No, I haven't
No.
personally. What about you?
You
Rios?
guys, I'm sure you guys have it down there, like in HEB, because HEB is the goat.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen.
They make a beer called Pearl Snap. It's a brewery down here. It's my favorite beer. It's fucking wonderful. Just
Pearl
in case
Snap?
you guys ever go, it's a green
Pearl
can.
Snap.
Pearl Snap. It's fucking delicious, especially
Alright.
on these like you're mowing the lawn on those Houston fucking summer days.
So
You
summer
guys all
beer,
look
would you
like
say?
you guys all look like you're rich, so you guys probably have somebody do your lawn. But,
That's funny.
You're
I
funny, bro. You're funny.
actually do.
see what I mean? I
What?
knew it.
You
I can
actually
tell
have-
by his face that he does not mow the lawn.
Is it Poppy?
Oh,
No,
that's
Poppy
racist.
mows your lawn for you.
That's racist.
He does.
Fucked up.
That's funny.
That's fucked up.
He does a good job.
Yeah.
Damn right I do. I get the edges, bro.
Yeah. Oh man. No. Yeah. No. So would you consider that, James, as like a summer beer?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a pilsner. But it's fantastic. It's a great summer
So-
beer, tailgating beer. Very refreshing, very crisp. It's my favorite beer, hands down.
Get it for next week, and if it's shit, we're just gonna shit all over it.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. What about H Town by St. Arnold's? Have you guys had that?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh
good.
yeah.
I love
Do you
that.
like that?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
my second favorite beer. Pearl Snap is just a
Nice.
little better. It's just a little
Yeah.
better.
Really, I have to check it out. I love
Yeah.
that.
That was
Yeah.
a good. That
Yeah,
was
the
a
H
good.
Town. It sounds good. I like
That was
that.
a good tailgating beer for sure. H-Town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Is that? I think we took H Town to when we went to the Space Cowboys game.
We did. Yeah,
that
we
one
did.
time,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, man. That's a good one. I like that one.
Oh yeah.
All
we
right,
got
back-
tore
By the
up.
way, we need to go to another one of those games, man. Like,
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what's up. Where he goes. Well, what happened? Did we are we losing bad?
oh no, we're getting our asses whooped, but Duvon just dropped the easiest ball you could probably catch.
Really?
Yeah, like we're just having a bad game. Dude. We're just having a bad game all
You know,
all
you know,
around.
And then Jordan's out too for a minute, right? He's got the
Yeah.
neck
Yeah.
discomfort.
Neck discomfort. Like you said, Rios in the group chat. Take mine. Like
I
Take
don't
it.
need it.
Take his neck.
Mine.
Yeah. You don't need it.
Or take Davis Mills extra long.
Look, he got
There's extra. There's extra.
He got
neck.
enough. He got enough neck for everybody.
All right, man. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program, as we call it. I forgot what we were talking about. Papa, you. I
Yeah,
think
we
you
go
had
on
the
little
last one.
tangents.
Horrible tangents.
Yeah, we're talking about the draft and how much the Texans
We're
suck.
talking
and
about,
how disappointed I am.
We're talking about AR basically. Like if he can
That's
put it
right,
all
AR.
together, like that's what. So my draft scenario, one of the ones I had was basically we go AR number 2 and Bijan Robinson number 12.
I said that 2 weeks ago. That is the most ideal. You want an identity on offense? You want to open
Yeah.
up passing lanes? Line up the Bijan can play wide receiver. He can play running back. The dude alleviates 2 needs on this team. And imagine him in the backfield with AR in the pistol, bro. Oh my God.
Like whoever gets the ball, good luck stopping either one of those.
100%.
And you got Damian Pierce right next to him. Like
Right. And not only
You know
that,
who to
like
stop.
taking Bijan, I'm not all for taking a running back in the first round. I've never been a big fan of that. But when you have Damian that can spell him and he doesn't have to take the workload and be this workhorse back where he's only getting 10 to 15 carries a game and then he's lining up a wide receiver, you're just extending his career at that point. And he's the best offensive weapon in the draft. So, like, why would you not, even if you don't take AR, like, I mean, maybe don't take him if you don't take AR. I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about it, but him and AR would be fun. That's a whole new offense.
Yeah, because like you can focus on the running game, and you know, as he learns the nuances of playing QB in the NFL, and once he gets it together, and those two running backs, like, good luck.
And make sure the Titans don't get him, right? With Derrick Henry about to be on the way out. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
the
want
Eagles.
to place Bijan. I don't care if Eagles get him, but I don't want. Like, here's my biggest fear: we pass on AR, he goes to the Colts. Shane Steichen gets him right, just like he did Jalen Hurts. Then 11 comes around, Bijan is there. Tennessee gets Bijan. It's like that. It couldn't get any worse for the Texans
At all. Derrick Henry still haunts me. 200 yards is a minimum for him in every game against the Texans.
Yeah, every time that he plays the Texans, it's like we're not even
Destroys
there.
us
Like we have
completely.
no defense. And he's there.
He turns into Bo Jackson at Tecmo Bowl at a point.
Yeah, he does.
Exactly. So right now, James, out of anybody, like, let's talk wide receivers really quick.
Okay.
Who do you really like in this draft with when it comes to wide receivers?
Does it need to be a first round guy or?
In general,
Overall. Just in general.
Yeah,
Overall.
I like Jonathan Mingo.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'2", 215, runs a great route tree, has good hands, very decisive route runner. I think he could be like a lot of people have him going like third or fourth round. I think he goes in the second because there's not a lot of tall wide receivers. I think it's him and Michael Wilson from Stanford.
Yeah.
I like Mingo. I like Zay Flowers. If we were to target, I think Zay Flowers fits the scheme that Bobby Slowick's going to want to. He's kind of like a Deebo Samuel, not as good, obviously, but you can put him in space and just give him the ball and see what happens. That's the type of athletes we need. JSN is an interesting wide receiver because I don't know how to project what he can do from college to the NFL. Like, I don't know where he would line up, but the talent's there. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of those three. Even Tank Dell, if you want to get creative in space, you could put Dell there. Marvin Mims is another guy I think that has some real talent. So those would probably be my four guys.
Okay.
Yeah, with Mingo, like a lot of people compare him to AJ Brown, and like, hey, if we get an AJ Brown, I'll take it.
Just talent-wise, please.
Yeah. Look what he did for that Eagles offense. I mean, he changed that whole offense. Like,
he's
Hurts taking like who? No one can stop him. Like he
reminds me of Andre Johnson to like literally to a T. The way he plays, the way he how physical he is, the way he runs his routes. He doesn't look fast, just like Andre didn't look fast, but Andre had those long legs, so he took long strides. So he didn't look fast, but he was. AJ Brown is a beast.
Okay, AJ Brown. All right, sounds good.
I'm glad he's out of the division because man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, and so looking at this, so that's who you chose for wide receiver. That's not bad. I had Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers was one that's on my radar.
He looks pretty good, man.
He kind of reminds me. He shades of like Tyreek Hill. Like I see like shades of Tyreek Hill.
Who, Zay Flowers?
Yeah.
His
not
speed
as fast, but
he's got the acceleration. Like he can.
Yeah.
He's got burst.
He can create space. Which
I
feel like every team needs.
Well, that's all we've heard about from Slowick and from D'Amico, right? It's all about getting the ball in our playmakers with space, so like they can create yak yards, right? So that makes the most sense. Would be Zay Flowers for me in the first round.
Okay. Is that somebody you think we should go for with that 12?
One of those picks is going to be traded. One of them. Whether it's
you think so, like for a fact, like it's
100%. There's no way he's not keeping both. He's going to add some value somewhere because that's just his MO. He's all about value. If you hear him talk, he talks about stock markets and risk adversity, and he's all about how can I maximize my dollar.
Right.
And the best way to do that is by trading. So he's either going to do it at 2 or he's going to do it at 12. Unless for some reason Anderson or Wilson fall, Jalen Carter falls, maybe he stays at 12. But that's or Anthony Richardson falls or Will Levis falls maybe if then they don't take a quarterback. I think that's the only way. But one of those picks is going to be moved.
I feel like if we're gonna trade one, it has to be that number 2 pick
The
because
two
if,
spot,
yeah.
if we're not gonna go, balls to the
Quarterback.
wall for a quarterback, I feel like let's just try to get some value elsewhere.
Yeah.
But because especially with so many teams being desperate for a quarterback right now, but I feel like we're still one of those teams that are desperate for quarterbacks.
But what
So
if
I
they
don't know.
trade back and one falls out? Like the funniest thing about the draft is, and then this happens every year. Every year they hype up they hype up every quarterback class. It doesn't
Right.
matter who it is. They did it with
Yeah.
Johnny, Blake Bortles. Like every year, these quarterbacks are hyped up, and then 1 or 2 falls. Every
yeah.
single year. Aaron Rodgers, he went to 26th?
Yeah.
It was like bottom 20s, yeah, like
Yeah.
24, 25. It was like bottom 20s, like
And that's the thing. Like the draft is always exciting, but it's the thing that I hate. The uncertainty.
Well,
it's
these are
just
the
like-
days. This right here, the week of the draft are the days where they build it up the most.
Yeah.
It's all what's going to happen here and there. The Vegas odds just go crazy. Yeah, what was it? They're having Levis at 2 or something like that.
Right.
That was
that's
And that's
so
all pushed
smart.
by the media and like
Right.
the fans.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
like the
that's
media-
not. They're not talking to NFL GM, sending out a Google form asking them who they're going to vote from 1 to
Yeah,
32. You know what I
right.
mean? Like they're literally just watching Twitter and saying, "Oh shit, Levis is trending. Maybe we should fuck
It's
with
happening.
this for a little bit."
Yeah.
That's right.
The-
It's happening.
The things like
That's
last year, going to the draft last year, because I had my expectations were like very low. Like I feel like we had nothing to lose, regardless of who we chose.
It was true.
Like I wasn't stressing as much
That's
as I am
bad.
right now, because right now I feel like we had 2 wins last year.
3, right?
3
3.
and a
like,
tie.
3.
And a
Do
tie.
we,
And
do
a
we
tie,
even want
and
to
a tie.
count? Do we even want to count like all those wins? Like it was a horrible season. This year, I feel like we could be a 5, 6, 7 win team.
I think that's
Like,
right.
I feel like I want to see more progress. So I feel like these draft picks are gonna be like essential moving forward. I feel
How
like
bad do you think the coaching was last year though? Like I keep thinking to myself that
It was
this
horrid.
team might have actually been better had they had a real coach.
maybe
Like,
like
I don't know, but there's players on the
It's
you know
'cause
what I
they-
mean? Like
There is.
Yeah.
Better,
They had
better
potential.
coaching. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They had better
They
coaching.
had a
and
lot
I
of
think-
potential. That's
I
it.
And
feel
more competent QB play also, because there
The
was a lot
reason-
of games
the
we were in
reason-
it, and then Mills gave
Yeah.
it away at the end.
yeah.
because we looked solid on defense. I wasn't.
Very.
I wasn't up in arms against the coaching staff as a lot of people were on Twitter last year. But now that I feel like the coaching has improved, we still got to see it on the field, of course. But
Yeah.
I feel like now that the coaching has improved, and like you said, we actually had some players out there
Yeah.
who actually look like they're ready to ball out.
Like the
I
guy,
feel like the expectations-
Petrie.
Like
Mhm.
Petrie. Like I feel like the expectations are rising. I feel like the stakes are rising. Oh, we just lost. Oh, damn it.
Thanks,
it's just
thanks
like
for that.
Thanks.
it's
I
just
guess
like
I don't have to watch the game that I recorded now.
Yeah.
Oh, what you
Yeah,
was like
dude,
trying to
I
watch
just
it,
saved
like-
I just saved you two
I'm
and a
just
half
kidding, I'm
hours.
just
Bro. I
kidding,
just
I'm
saved you
just
2.5 hours.
I didn't record it.
It's just like I'm stressed out thinking about it, and that post that they did, that the Texans did, mistakes happen.
Oh yeah, I was like, what?
When I saw that, I'm just like, oh, you're just telling me that.
That poor intern is so fired.
You're just telling me not to give a damn about this season. That's what you're telling me.
Did you see that post, James? The one they're talking about? The Texans posted a thing today about failure is necessary. I was like, wait, hold up, what's that mean? Will
Wait,
Levis that too?
Look, guys.
I mean, we're joking around, of course.
Yeah,
but it
you're
was like-
basically telling me like, oh, we might fuck this up big time, so don't be mad.
There's like this side of like Twitter and shit where like it's the extremes. It's like fucking Debbie Downers of all Debbie Downers. It's like, holy shit, the team posted something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it into Chat GPT and it's going to tell me how to feel. And it's like, damn, like, look, they all they did was just put some shit out there that like, they're acknowledging like, hey, we sucked for 3 years. We were trash, but because of that, we're going to be better. And then everybody since Easterby is like, okay, if there's a positive message out there, it's got to be shitted on because they can't really believe this.
Well, the thing is, it
I don't
also
even-
happened.
I
It's
don't even
also
feel like
happening.
it was a positive message. Like it was
Well-
an unnecessary thing to say. We know that we sucked for the last 3 years.
But everybody has
we
said that they
watched.
wanted to hear it from the organization. Everybody has said that they want somebody to come out and admit that they made mistakes. And since that hasn't happened, I can't move on.
I feel like that was already addressed when Cal McNair started making burgers out there for people. Like my bad.
Right,
Yeah, that's fair.
No,
Those burgers suck too.
did they really?
I didn't have one, but
they look like they sucked.
them sure looked like they were
Piece of
missing
that
salt and
shit,
pepper.
bro.
They look very well done. I'm like,
they look mediocre like the last 3 years. Now, anyway,
The beer was warm. Fucking
hey,
no pickles.
The
Fuck,
cheese
fuck
was hot
outta
before
here.
it even went on the meat.
the cheese
Like
is still
left out.
frozen.
Yeah, it's just
soggy bread. No, so what I was gonna say with that point, let's go back to where you're talking about the coaching.
Yeah.
Last year, I had a little bit of higher expectations from Pep Hamilton because of the way, I was like, man, if anybody's going to be able to do it, it's Pep. But then,
Oh.
then you realize Lovie Smith was going to be focusing more on what the hell's Reel's doing. He was going to be focusing more on like the defense, and so there wasn't really much of an offensive, anybody on offense besides Pep. It was almost like, well, here you go, because from what we heard, it was like, it was going straight to defense. Like Lovey was focusing on defense or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so, it kind of leaves in my opinion, and I might be wrong, it feels like you just kind of left your offense kind of high and dry. You know what I mean? And
to
so
a rookie OC, and he
to a rookie
clearly
OC.
was terrible.
Now, and we get that Lovie Smith is a defensive minded coach. Like I understand that, but like I felt like there needed to be somebody like there to focus on that, and
like a veteran presence at offense.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is how you do it. Like, kind of guide it, because oh my god, they look so lost on offense sometimes. Like, man.
Yeah, I was surprised every time we actually scored a touchdown last season.
But there were games that like were close,
were
like
in
that
it.
Cowboys game. Like there were games where we were in it and then we just
keep
dropped the
going back
ball.
to that Cowboys game, but because I feel like all the players were up for that one. We only play them like once every.
Well,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Chiefs
4
game
years.
too, right? Like Davis Mills took Mahomes to overtime.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I missed that one. I remember.
Of course you did. To fit your narrative that Mills
Yeah,
is trash,
yeah,
right?
how-
I
yeah,
missed
no,
that
no.
one.
Mills
But
is
anyway,
trash.
back to
I'm
the regular
sorry, I
season.
didn't see that
He
one.
is, though. He
I
is.
didn't even know he played the Chiefs last year.
He's more neck than talent. He's more neck than talent.
It's more neck than talent.
Wow.
What did you say once? Like what did you say once? Like his decision making skills, were clouded by the neck because it takes like 5 minutes.
Takes a while for the blood.
The blood flow. It just takes too long.
Takes a while to get to the brain.
Like he can see the whole field. He can see the whole field, and he throws it 3 feet right of him to the fucking floor.
He's like, hey, Burkhead's down there somewhere.
That's why people say like,
Daddy
Bryce,
Burkhead.
Bryce Young is too small.
I think Pep Hamilton. I had no expectations for Pep Hamilton. If honestly, I had zero expectations. I thought he was going to be trash. He was terrible in Indy. If he was a good coach, he would have never reached the XFL. Like there's 32 teams. You know what I mean? Like you can't find one job. Like you can't find a job as a quarterback coach, a wide receiver. You couldn't find one job and now he's back in the XFL. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Under Andrew Luck, they had a shit offense. Like, of course, with Davis Mills, it's going to be a shit offense.
Would you see Davis Mills? I mean, would you see Davis Mills thriving a little better in this type of offense?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I do. Because I think it fits what he did at Stanford.
So
It's not the exact system, but
what's the expectation that you have for Mills this year?
oh god damn it! This whole thing's been about Davis Mills, and this is not
it's
what I
Davis
wanted
Mills.
today.
Yeah,
That's why the episode is called "The Bad Guy."
If we're not gonna go for a quarterback, I need to find some way to sleep well at night.
I think honestly, if he can correct his issues, if he can go back to the end of 2021 and do that consistently, even last year he had some throws where you sit there and you think to yourself, why can't you do this consistently? Why can't you? You can do it, but you can't do it every play. Why? And if he can just get, I'd say honestly, if he could get maybe this is low. This is putting a target on my back. If he could be 30% better than what he was at the end of 2021 and be that consistently,
I'll take that.
I think this guy could be at least in the 10 to 15 range. And I think if everything else around him ends up being like the Niners, like if you put Davis Mills on that Niners team in the NFC Championship, I actually think you win.
Low key.
I like honestly, I really do. Like,
Sounds like
Davis Mills is a better quarterback.
Like a stand to me.
Sounds like a stand to me over here. No, keep going. Sorry. Oh wait, did we lose him or is that...
No, but that's what you
No,
get. That's what you fucking get.
Damn! Wait, did we lose him?
Oh, like, yeah, because like,
Good.
did he freeze?
I was like, wait, I was like, did we lose him? Oh, good.
He's a better he's a better quarterback than Brock Purdy, right? Like he went in the third round. He was a top. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Like none of that was Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, right? So Davis Mills is a better quarterback. Purdy's just in the fucking perfect system, bro. Like,
yeah.
How are you not gonna like? You should be able to succeed, right? But we saw even before he got hurt, like he was not wheeling and dealing against Philly. That pass rush had him going for a little bit. And yeah, he got hurt, but like, so I think Davis could have succeeded in that offense. And I think, look, if Texans fans really want to be this team that they say they want to be, your best bet to do that is to not sink any capital into a quarterback and Davis Mills actually turn it around, because now you're sinking nothing else into it. Now you have your guy. And I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he can be. But what I'm saying is I've always found it weird that people would root against Davis Mills, but yet you're ready to draft another quarterback with the first overall pick, but yet the third round pick that was the first pick under Nick Caserio, you're ready to bounce on after one season. It was like the guy was doomed to fail anyways. He was the rebound. Nobody likes the rebound girlfriend. And Davis Mills was the rebound girlfriend of Deshaun Watson. He was set to fail no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a tough act to follow. Like, cause
it really is.
Deshaun's a shitty human being, but like the talent,
100%.
I mean, that's a top 5 talent, but he's a shitty human being.
But will we ever see top 5 Deshaun again?
I
think it's all mental now. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot to come back from.
What was he gone for? Almost 2 years, almost.
He was gone. He didn't play for 2 years, and then he looked like pure shit last year.
Yeah,
that team's gonna implode. I think this year. Like Stefanski's on the hot seat. Like they're gonna want his guy. Who was his guy in Miami? Then now the Pittsburgh defensive Brian Flores. That was his guy. So that's gonna be his next head coach in Cleveland in 2024. Like they're gonna have a terrible season, and I hope we have a top 5 pick.
Me too.
Yeah,
I hope he tears his ACL. Pray to God. But like if he tears his ACL. And we get a top 3 pick because of it. Like I feel like the whole city is like all your debts are paid at that point, Deshaun. You're welcome back in the city. You can come do whatever. Like go get your tugs wherever you need to go. Like you are good to go at that point. Just give us a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Hot take on that one.
Hot take. All right, so we're about to call it, but before we go, I gotta ask you this question, James. If I think you already know what I'm going to talk about for a second, if if I didn't ask you this question, I wouldn't be doing my job here. But hey, listen. So about a week ago, you put a video out that it was titled "Sorry Not Sorry," and it was about some content creators that you felt weren't up to par. I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. You felt weren't up to par, and then you said you said it was constructive. You called it constructive criticism, and then how do you call it now? A week later or a week and a half later, how do you feel like the aftermath after that?
Yeah, so I think where it all actually started was a video before that where John came back to the show, and me and John haven't done a show in over a year, and so we were talking, and I was just talking comfortably with John like I always do. And I pretty much said what I felt, which was he was talking about our pod and how long we've been around. And it's kind of crazy to think that 7 years has gone by. And I said, yeah, it's super crazy. And not until somebody.
That is a pretty long time, man.
Yeah. And I didn't realize this until recently, but the day before John said that, somebody in a group chat that I'm in was clowning, not you guys, but some of the pods and YouTubes, and was like, you know, they've copied a lot of what you did because you were the first one to like really actually stick to it. At the time, there was a bunch of pods and a bunch of YouTube channels, but they'd come and go like this. It was like 3 episodes, then they disappeared. But we stayed consistent. And so they were saying like, you know, this one show has copied your entire thing. They got interviews. They're doing everything that you did. They're reaching for the stars. And so I was just thinking about that. And I was talking to John and I said, well, you know, everybody's got a YouTube nowadays and none of them are very good or any good. I may have said any good. I may have said that. I don't remember very good, any good. Either way, my point was that they're not good. Right. And it wasn't a general, like not every pod, every YouTube channel sucks. No, that's not the case. Like Ruben 713, like that's my guy. Like that's not even like a YouTube type shit. That's like, I'll go eat lunch with him and like edit his article that he sent me 3 weeks ago because I fuck with him. Like, or Cody Johnson or Harley Dugan or, you know, at the time, what I thought was Pat Storm, you know, and then we found out that that's not true. But then like, and Matthew Briggs and Crenshaw, like I was on their show, like me and Crenshaw have talked for a long time. Me and Matt have talked. So when I said that statement, honestly, what I thought was the people that I fucked with would know that that wasn't directed at you, right? But Chubby Wubby Bear at that point decided he made a general statement, and he plays victim. His whole life's been a victim. He's always been the victim mentality. I can see it in his face. I know a victim when I see him. And it's always coming after me. Everybody's coming after me. So when I did Sorry Not Sorry, it was like a double down on to let everybody fucking know, like, I'm not here to placate to anybody. I'm not. Like, this is a creative hobby for me. I have a fucking great career. I don't need this to monetize and make me money. This is my creative outlet. This is my space to come and talk about something that I love to do. If I feel like your shit sucks and you can't take it, that's not my fucking problem. But when you go and you get disrespectful and you call people racist, and which is like, if that gets out of the Twitterverse and people believe that outside of that in the real world you are a racist, your personal life is now impacted. Okay, and that we've seen people get canceled for less.
Oh yeah.
So when you're throwing out terms like that, and then you're constantly disrespectful to everybody who disagrees with you, and you reach to the lower level of my 10-year-old when he gets into a fight with his 10-year-old friend, and you call each other names just because somebody disagrees with you, that's some bitch shit. And I don't really give a shit. I'm not here for that. Like, I'm not going to be okay with it. And so I'm going to say what I want to say, and that's what I did. And if he feels like none of it's true, then why does it bother him so bad? Because you create your content for your fan base, your demographic. You don't create it for me. I don't watch. I watched because of Matt and Crenshaw, but they brought you on now. I can't watch. So, you know, I mean, the one thing I will say that I fucked up on, and this was an accident, and I don't know why I felt that. I've been feeling this way for a while, and I probably should have just hit Troy's DMs is what I should have done. I should have went to Texans cap instead of making a singular phrase when calling out Texans cap. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I should have apologized, or I should have reached out to Texans cap and say, yo, I feel this type of way about how you are with me and how you choose to reply and not reply. And I feel like you placate to the group that you hang out with the most, which is fine. But I wanted you to know. And I shouldn't have done that on air. I should have done that on person because I do have respect for him. But he's the only one that I honestly would apologize to. I wouldn't apologize to anybody else. Like, now, Chubby Wubby Bear is still like, he's like forming a conglomerate of like YouTube creators to like come together and be like the fucking, the Illuminati from Multiverse of Madness that determines if Doctor Strange dies or not. Like, Chubby Wubby Bear doesn't have the strength or the ability to be able to do that. Like, you're just a dude that half of Twitter has blocked. So like, who are you? And I'm not going to stand for it. So yeah, I put that picture out the other day. I guess it wouldn't, everybody laughed about how he looked like the dude that ate Orion's belt and Men in Black. But like, when you continue to come at me, I'm different. I'm not like the rest of these people. I'm going to let you know I have a problem with it. And that's that. So with Matthew and Crenshaw, I do fuck with those dudes. And I hate that there's a divide between me and them because of this. But that's their podcast host. That's somebody that they got to ride with. And so, at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So I'm not sorry for saying what I think, and I'm not sorry for feeling the way that I feel. Everybody else can just do a better fucking job. And I'm pretty sure Kobe's been criticized his career, and I'm pretty sure he didn't go home and cry about it. I'm pretty sure what he did was he decided, how could I be better? And he evaluated his work, and he put in the effort to be better. I was hoping that maybe that's something that they would do, but they didn't. I don't know if that answers everything or not, but
no, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, just because I know that it was, we're all Texans content creators, and everybody has their content differently or whatnot.
But let me say, can I say this, Carlos? I'm sorry, I forgot this piece.
Yeah, go for it.
It's funny, and maybe this will piss everybody else off some more, and that's not what I'm here to do. But I'm gonna be honest.
Oh Lord.
All these people that he went to, and Chris Royal and all these other people went to that are on Spaces and stuff. Mm-hmm. The people that they interact with on a daily basis, I was in group chats with them. And if they only heard how these people talk behind their backs and not to their face, it would honestly give them a completely different perspective to what they actually feel about them. Okay. At least I had the balls to stand on a video, tell you exactly how I feel and say your name, instead of the people that you think are close to you that talk shit about you constantly. I mean, constantly. So just reevaluate where you're at and stop worrying about the other person's opinions. Just do you, bro. We're all YouTube creators. I feel like I do a great job of supporting. I supported you guys. I supported Matthew. I'll retweet everything I can. I even just put a tweet out like an hour ago where I was like, if I think you're a good person, I'm going to follow you blindly, because at the end of the day, all I care about is if you're a good dude. I don't really give a shit if I agree with you. I may not agree with you, but if I retweet it, maybe 10 of the people that do follow me will fuck with you. That's okay. There's no reason for me to gatekeep it. Get the shit out there. There's enough fucking fans that want content all the time. We're those same fans. We're the same ones. We watch all the videos.
Right.
So if we do it and we create it, you would think that the average fan can't get enough content.
So. Okay. No, I see what you're talking about. So, again, I just wanted to get your perspective on that. No, just to see that. I know they'll probably be on, I think, next Sunday, and just to see, what's again to have, I guess, their perspective on what happened or how they how they feel about it, and and again we. Those are our boys too, and you're I guess you're a friend too, and so we appreciate both sides. That's how we see it. We appreciate both sides because both sides have been supportive to us, and so obviously the whole episode was about the Texans draft, everything, but again I knew that was out there. Again, we're all Texans content creators, so I know that was going on since last week and stuff like that. So again, the whole point of that was just to get your perspective on it.
Yeah.
And and that was it. So
I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you letting me, voice it. Didn't know that's what I was coming on here for, honestly. I thought I was just coming to talk Texans. So if I went off on a tangent, that wasn't my goal. I literally just came here to support you guys because I do think you guys are dope. Full transparency. No,
appreciate it.
You guys are exactly what I wanted to be when we started 7 years ago. I just didn't have the drive to do this regularly, put out clips, be there to record every time. It's a task. It's not just it's not something that doesn't take energy or thought. We talked before, no script, right? But still you got to show up and record, and you still got to publish and edit and put it out and come up with the artwork and come up with the title and the information to write it and put it up. You guys are exactly what we wanted to be. And I'm so glad that you guys are actually doing this and continuing to post and continuing to be there, because consistency is the biggest key in this game. And you guys are always there. And if you guys look at it, you said a year ago was your first episode.
Correct.
You guys are at 6,000 followers on Twitter. You guys are killing it on YouTube. I bet your podcast numbers are fucking dope too. That's an amazing feat to accomplish in a year.
Thank you. So, and I've liked the fact that we've had these guests too. We've had Seth Payne on, we've had Jalen Strong, Cecil Shorts, Quentin Demps. Quentin Demps was awesome, and so that's
he had the best draft story ever, man.
Really?
Oh, dude, check it out when you get a chance.
I will.
Yeah, it's the Quinn Demps episode. His first it's like at the very it's like literally at the very beginning of like the episode. He just talks about his best draft story with at the time with the Eagles with
Andy
Andy Reid.
Reid.
It was pretty funny the way he explained it. But just check it out if you get a chance. But
Yeah, we'll.
we love Quentin Demps. He's friend of the show. He I text him here and there on
Nice.
Instagram, and so it's pretty cool, dude. But nonetheless, man, again, James Young Ari Gold, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you. Hope we didn't catch you off guard. I just wanted to get your perspective
No,
on
it's
this
all
thing,
good.
you know.
If I
And
said
so,
anything wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm not.
No, you're good. You're good, brother. You're good, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, stay. Don't leave just yet. Really quick, we're just gonna end the show.
right,
But
cool.
all right, guys, we'll be on Let's Talk Sports live on Thursday for the draft. And again, this episode
My
will
chest.
be on Let's Talk Sports. Shut up. Get that mug ready, Rios.
Dude, honestly,
we'll be on.
we're gonna need the 24 pack.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be on Let's Talk Sports. This episode will be aired on Let's Talk Sports and the Hardcore Sports Network with Mitch Kofsky. Thank you so much, guys. All right, guys, that'll be it for tonight. Again, I want to thank my guest host, James, at Young Ari Gold. Follow him on Twitter. And that'll be it. All right, guys. Peace. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Later.